third evicted house guest of BB26. Are you feeling relieved to be sitting here right now?
I am. That was a very tough experience for me. I am relieved. A ball of emotions. I feel guilty that I left some people behind, but I am relieved.
You say you have a ball of emotions. Were you surprised to feel as much as you do right now?
I'm shocked at how I feel and how I feel about the other house guests. I did always watch on TV and be like, wow, how are they getting so close so fast? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It always amazed me, but I guess you don't know until you're in that house. I feel as though that I'm a strong person. I did a lot of crazy things in my life and been in a lot of bad situations, but to be able to get in there and feel how that house makes you feel, I guess there's only a few people that really, or a couple hundred people probably, that only really feel what that is like.
You told Julie.
I grossly underestimated the emotions of the game.
What about the game surprised you the most?
It was the emotions. It was being basically snatched away at a moment's notice and whisked out there. A lot of the fans probably don't realize, like, it is that way. Like, you are home 1 minute and there's really no way to prep. If I had a month to maybe prepare and get my headspace in a different frame of mind, it might have been different, but to be able to go from everyday life to into the Big Brother house was probably the biggest part that I couldn't grasp. And the emotions were tough. For me, I said it to many people in the house, like, you missing your family or your dog or your cat is no different than me missing my kids at home, because what's most important to you in life is what's most important to you. And for me, I was at a point in my life where I wanted to be with my kids every day. I started this journey 5 years ago, and I said to a few people that, 5 years ago, a different Kenney might have went in the house. I definitely completely underestimated how I was going to feel.
Kenney's taking it to the next level.
Well, it did seem like there were times you wanted to stay. We saw a little bit of that competitor spirit in you. So is there anything that would have kept you in the house?
I never was going to throw a comp. Well, I actually always wanted to be on the block because it gave me something to look forward to. As you know, there's a lot of downtime in the house. People don't realize the amount of downtime. When you talked about like HoH comp and then going into a veto comp, going into a veto meeting, like those days were great for me. I was in the game. I wanted to play. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get myself off the block. Who was I going to compete against in the veto competitions? That was the exciting part of the game. And then you go into your rest of the week where you have nothing but time on your hands, and you have to balance the ability to, scheme with people and try and become with alliances, but there's also 15 other people in the house at that particular time, so it's difficult. The house isn't that big. There's not a lot of places to hide, and as soon as you get a group of people together, they think you're scheming. Sometimes we were, and sometimes we weren't, so that made it difficult.
You did whisper a bunch of stuff to some of your house guests before the vote and after. What did you tell people before you sat on the block for a final time?
First, I was trying to rekindle the relationship between Cedric and Tucker, because I knew if I went home that Cedric was kind of going to need somebody. I don't think he really has a strong alliance other than me that was really looking out for him. So I tried to do that. I kind of felt I was going. Obviously, they knew I wanted to go home. That wasn't a secret in the house, but I think they also knew that if I stayed with Tucker, they already tried to break us up the night before or 2 nights before by, telling Tucker that I was, saying I didn't know anything about him using the veto on Angela, which wasn't true.
I've decided to use the power of veto. It's Big Brother, expect the unexpected. Here you go, Angela.
So I kind of was just trying to clean some stuff up before I left. There was some people in the house that I really didn't have a lot of time to talk to and didn't really connect with, like T-Core, who I thought was an amazing person to sit and listen to her and see her go from not really saying 2 words in the house to really engaging in the house during the last week that I was there. So I kind of whispered to her, do the right thing for your game, and that I wish we had more time to get to know each other.
Do you think it was smart of the house to vote you out over Quinn?
It was, because me and Tucker, we were sitting on the block, we were whispering to each other the whole time. And I'm like, if they're stupid enough to keep me in this game, me and you have to stay tight. He was like, oh, absolutely. And I think we would have been a tough duo to beat, especially if we could have kept Cedric with us. It would have been a terrible game move. And I've heard them talking a couple of nights before that it would probably be best to get me out if Tucker took himself off the block, because they knew that I could win competitions. That was never an issue, but they also knew that I was emotional about missing my family.
It sounds like you were setting up some relationships for some other people to go far in the game. So who are you rooting for to take it all?
Cedric, for sure. I had a real good connection with him. He's such a nice kid, and there's more to him than meets the eye. He's doing a real good job of playing up that he's this young, dumb kid. Everybody in the house thinks he's the first 16 or 17-year-old house guest. One night we joked around and we were like, yeah, drink one of the beers, and he wouldn't drink it. But it was good gameplay on his part, because people are really not taking him too seriously, but I know that he's a real smart kid, and he has a lot of ability. If they put him on the block, I'm confident that he'll be able to take himself off.
Right now, we do know that Angela is the new head of household.
Oh!
What do you
God
think?
bless her.
Who do you think is coming out the door behind you?
Oh, wow. Angela's probably like me right now. I think anybody's fair game. Brooklyn must be so scared. I didn't agree with the way Angela handled her first HOH, but I do know how emotions get. She handled things differently than I would handle things. At the end of the day, Angela was my biggest advocate. Angela, every single day, was telling me, don't give up, don't give up. She knew what I was going through. She missed her family too, and she missed her grandbabies too. I have a lot of respect for Angela in that aspect of the game. It's like, she kept playing. She never gave up. She wanted to work with me so bad, but I was like, I couldn't do it at that particular point because I had Tucker and Cedric. I think Brooklyn's in trouble. I think she knows, like, me and her had a good conversation about Brooklyn running the house, and she knew Brooklyn was running the house. So I think Angela might be in trouble, and she's got Tucker on her side. So God bless Angela. Like, let the games begin. That's going to be a great week 4. I can't wait to watch this.
Well, people at home probably don't know, but you tried to get on Big Brother for years.
A long journey for you to finally get into the Big Brother house. If you had a second chance, would you go and play again?
Absolutely not. It's a young person's game. It's a young person's game. I've always wondered why an older person couldn't win it. It's just because of where they are in life. I've missed out on a lot of stuff with my older kids, and I don't want to do that with my younger kids. And life is short. You got to grasp every day that you can and live life to the best of your ability. And for me, it was a little selfish to do. I'm glad I did it. I don't regret doing it. I regret not being able to do it 5 years ago. But at the end of the day, I'm blessed to be part of the BB family and have much respect for people like yourself that were able to, do it the entire time.
Now, your wife is also a huge Big Brother fan. I gotta know, what do you think her reaction is going to be with you a lot of times saying, I want to come home, I want to go home? Do you think she'll be upset you didn't push through, given she's a big fan as well? What do you think she's thinking?
I mean, she's definitely going to give me a lot of grief on it, for sure. But our love is real, and I know she missed me as much as I missed her, and as much as it was great to watch me do it. I know she would have never said to come home. Like, she would have said, stick it out. She would have been my biggest advocate to stay in there and fight till the end. But you don't get that in the Big Brother house. And sometimes, that right there would have, made me go. And I did push. I almost won every HOH that we had. I was, second at pretty much every competition. So those things motivated me. And I did. If I was still in the house, I would have pushed really hard to win that HOH, to get that letter and that picture and push me to the next week. But she's probably not going to be happy. But there's a lot of things in the house that she was trying to prep me for that she was wrong. So we got some disagreements on that part too.
Do you think she would beat you out if she were on the same season, or do you think you could have lasted longer than her?
She probably would have lasted longer than me, to be honest with you. Even in life, I'm the one that's like constantly calling her. Like, she calls me too, but I'm always the one saying, hey, come meet me for coffee during the day. Come do this, come do that. I'm kind of a pain in the butt to her during the course of the day. And she's tough. She's way tougher than me.